You know the feeling when you get back to your car after a road trip, a dog in the back seat, and you're staring at a carpet that looks like a dust bowl? You want something that actually works, that you can pop into the trunk, run for a few minutes, and be done without wrestling with a cord or a massive canister. The fear of spending money on a mini vacuum that barely picks up a crumb is real, especially when you've seen a handful of gadgets that promise 10,000 pascals and end up with a weak motor that dies after the first use. That hesitation is why I spent a good chunk of time reading through forums, watching a few unboxing videos, and even checking the technical specs side by side with other car vacuums before I finally decided to try the Fanttik Slim V8 Apex. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the category itself. Portable cordless vacuums for cars have exploded in the last couple of years because people are finally treating the interior of their vehicle like they would a living room. The biggest complaints I keep seeing are, the suction isn't strong enough for pet hair, the battery dies before you finish cleaning the whole cabin, and the dust cup is a nightmare to empty. On the flip side, the best-rated models usually have a decent suction rating, a USB-C fast charge port, and a design that lets you slip the thing under seats without it feeling like a hammer. The Fanttik Slim V8 tries to hit all those marks. It's marketed as a 4-in-1 mini vacuum with 10 practical accessories, 19,000 pascals of suction, a USB-C fast charging system, and a one-touch empty dust bin. The 4-in-1 part means you get a main brush for general debris, a narrow crevice tool for those tight gaps between seats, a mini motorized brush that's supposed to lift stubborn pet hair, and a soft dusting brush for delicate surfaces like a laptop keyboard. All of that adds up to a toolkit that lets you go from a car floor to a desk without swapping devices. So, does it deliver in the real world? I started by testing it on my own daily commute. I have a golden retriever who insists on riding shotgun, and his shedding schedule is basically every other day. The first thing I noticed was the suction. When I pressed the main nozzle onto the carpeted floor, the vacuum pulled a thick clump of hair and sand together in one pass. That's the kind of immediate feedback you want. You can feel the motor working, and you see the debris disappear. The 19,000 pascals rating is on paper, but the way the airflow feels when you hold the unit close to the surface is strong enough that you don't have to go over the same spot twice. Battery life is where things get a bit more nuanced. The manufacturer says it supports fast charging via a USB-C cable, and the charger that comes with the box is small enough to fit in a glove compartment. In my tests, a full charge gave me roughly 25 minutes of runtime before the power indicator started flashing amber. That's plenty for a typical car interior. Most of us finish a quick clean in under 10 minutes. But if you're trying to vacuum a large SUV, a minivan, or you want to tackle the trunk and rear seats in one go, you'll probably need to pause and top off the battery. The fast charge feature mitigates that a little. A 10-minute charge gets you back to around 60% capacity, which is enough for a second round. The one-touch empty mechanism is a small but significant convenience. Instead of wrestling with a latch or dumping the cup over a trash can, you press a button on the side, and the dust cup swivels open, letting the contents fall straight into your hand or a trash bag. I tried it with a handful of pet hair and crumbs, and the release was clean, no dust clouds, no sticky residue left behind. It's the sort of detail that feels premium, especially when you're dealing with fine hair that tends to cling to plastic. Now, let's be clear about the trade-offs. The vacuum is ultra-light. It feels almost like holding a large phone, which is great for maneuverability, but that also means the dust cup is relatively small. After a thorough cleaning of both front and back seats, the bin was about 2/3 full. If you're a pet owner who sheds heavily, you'll find yourself emptying it more often than you would with a larger, corded shop vacuum. Also, because the unit is compact, the motor is necessarily smaller, and while it does a solid job on hair and loose debris, it struggles a bit with heavier particles like sand clumped with oil. I noticed a slight drop in suction when I tried to pick up a small pile of dried leaves, which isn't a deal breaker for most car owners, but is worth noting if you plan to use it for more rugged cleanups. Another practical point is noise. The motor,